Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers joining us here today. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome to all of you listening in today. You may see a familiar face on your screen, and we're going to be talking to Ruth in just a minute. But Ruth Oshikanlu is back with us for a brand new symposium here at Gold Learning. I'm so excited to be sharing, that we're going to be doing this symposium. So listen carefully. This is what you need to know right now. So Gold Learning Early Years Online Symposium is brand new, coming up to you live on October 4th and 5th. Of course, check your time zones. We want you to be sure that you come and connect with us on those days. You can find all the information on our website at goldlearning.com. And you can check out the registration page there, and early bird is still in effect. We can't wait to see you online. So it's going to be a 2-day event, live, but also recorded. So for any of you that wouldn't be able to make it at a certain time, of course, we wanted to make sure that you can catch it at a different time, and you'll be able to watch those recordings online at your convenience. So welcome back to Dr. Ruth Oshikanlu. It's so good to have you here today, Ruth. You and I have just been having such a great time connecting again, I feel, and talking about this really important topic, which we'll get into the topic in just a moment, because I know there's lots to be shared on that. But for now, would you introduce yourself again to our wonderful audience here at Gold and share with them where you are in the world and what you do?
Oh, thank you, Fiona. It's great to be back. I'm Ruth Oshikanlu. I'm a nurse, midwife, and health visitor. I'm based in London. And for about 17 years now, I've been working as a pregnancy mindset expert because although being a midwife before I had my son, it's only after I had him, I realized the impact of pregnancy, what it does to you, how women get ready for pregnancy. But I almost lost him in pregnancy. So I had to be hospitalized for 5 months, 159 days to be exact. And it was then I learned the importance of connecting with one's baby in utero, because I think that's what made the biggest difference. But I also learned the impact of stress, because before then, a woman thinks, oh, I got 9 months to get my life sorted before baby's here. And often we're changing jobs, moving house, getting our lives ready for a child, but forgetting that a lot of the things we may be engaging in may be really stressful and have an impact on the unborn baby. And I think that was what happened in my case. So routine scan, had to be rushed to theatre for a procedure, because he was on his way out. So I had to learn to connect, reduce my stresses, because then the stresses changed. I just desperately wanted to be at home. I'm not saying I don't need rest, but why do I have to rest in a hospital? I would rest at home. The hospital was where I needed to be, so that if anything happened and the premature labor continued, then at least I had the clinicians. Well, it was whilst in that room alone, I connected with Joshua. His name is Joshua. And then formed that relationship with him. And because he was the only one I had for company in my room, so I spent a lot of time doing that. And I think that's what made the most difference. It calmed me right down. It calmed him down, probably reduced all the cortisol levels. Because I really do believe the reason he wanted to leave was, I can imagine the environment in my womb at the time, that any place must be better than inside here. It's intense. I need to get out. Because the minute I calmed right down, relaxed, connected with him, then even the obstetricians and the obstetric team and the midwives could not really explain what happened, how my body healed itself and my cervix lengthened again. So I decided to do some more exploration and took my master's degree in parental fetal attachment, because I also wanted to know, I know how I connected with my baby in the womb as a mum to be. How do dads, fathers, partners, the other parent who is carrying the pregnancy, how do they connect with the baby? So I looked at both how mothers to be and fathers to be, or partners, connect with the unborn baby. And it was an eye-opener. I didn't realize how much I did not know. So with all that knowledge, I made the mission to ensure that I educate many more people, because a lot of us midwives didn't know about this. So I lecture regularly in universities. I make sure I run workshops. And again, why should I just focus on my colleagues in the UK? So I'm so glad when the opportunity arose to share my experience and share the knowledge and skills I have gained over the years. I thought, why not? So I'm here. I'm looking forward to sharing and presenting at your symposium in a few days.
Yes, in a few days. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And Ruth, it reminds me so much. I had a pregnancy, my third, where I was told that my child was going to die. And so we planned a funeral. And so I also went through similar things, likely to you, very high levels of stress, and sometimes sort of a disregard from the family because nobody wanted to talk about it. And all I could think about is how I was going to play with my baby in utero. And it's folks like you and others that really inspired me to connect early on. I'd never really intentionally, even though it was my third pregnancy, but I'd never looked at it from that point of view before. I thought that there was going to be an imminent loss post-birth. And so therefore, I changed the whole trajectory of that pregnancy, everything from finding out what sex the infant was to naming the infant completely, because I wanted my other children to always remember that they had a brother. I didn't want them to grow up thinking, and so, my focus was always on the other children, but intentionally, of course, it was for me too. But these stories that we share amongst ourselves are often lost. They're not because some of them hold a lot of grief and trauma, but the importance of them, when you share your story and I share mine, is the connectiveness of understanding what happens in the long term. And so my son did not die. He lived with procedures, with surgery, and he's with us today. But I do see those things that happened to him. I do connect the dots and understand that he spent tremendous amount of time in utero stressed and in the immediate postpartum and beyond. But it really helps me understand him better. Isn't that the truth, right? You probably have those things with Joshua as well.
In fact, the relationship I have with Joshua, he's 17 now, it all started in utero because that relationship was formed that early. Once he was born, we just continued that relationship. And it's the same way I encourage the clients I work with, because now I focus on supporting women and their partners who have had a challenging pregnancy, maybe even challenging road to conception.
Right.
A lot of the women have been pregnant before, had fertility problems and have needed assisted conception, or have had a previous pregnancy loss. So a big part of what we do is process whatever's happened before. Because if you don't, you bring all of that to the current pregnancy. And I liken it to driving, and instead of looking at the direction of travel, you're looking at the rear view mirror. You will crash. Right. Yeah. So you can be on this pregnancy and be focusing on the previous pregnancy, because you would end up attracting all of that. So processing what has happened before, so that space can be created to focus on the present pregnancy. And with one's mind and strategies as I share with them, being present and enjoying every single minute of that pregnancy. Whatever happens, we'll handle it. But let it happen before you attract it, and just focus on growing that relationship with your baby. So and whatever beautiful. A woman and her partner want, if they want to name the baby, if they want to find the sex out, whatever, it's all bespoke. Because again, one has to consider what preferences people want. So there are always options, but you decide what works for you. So that's how I support people, and it's just so beautiful. Even when things don't go to plan, they've enjoyed that
Mm-hmm.
pregnancy until the loss or whatever happens, and it's the power in that, those experiences that they take with them, and the relationship they built with the baby. Yeah, so it's amazing. But then now looking forward into how, fetal programming, I didn't know about fetal programming when I was pregnant. The more I explored, I thought, goodness, everything that happens, the environment in the womb, all of that has an impact on the baby
Right.
during the pregnancy and beyond, even last a lifetime. And it's how we share this information with those we work with and other professionals so that they can ensure that they support those in their care with all the information they need, uh, so they can take responsibility. And when people learn, they're empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe most of what we go through happens, it all starts from what happens in pregnancy, preconception, all of that. Just like the foundation of a building, once you have a strong foundation, you're more likely to the house is more likely to withstand any storms. Similarly, you have the best foundation. We hear about the 1001 critical days, we call it in the UK, it's 1,000 in the US and in Canada. And those are crucial moments. But even if we miss those opportunities, there's always opportunities. I don't want anyone to think, oh goodness, I've missed it. Just start from now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ruth. I think the invitation to learn more about, fetal programming, and that is the title of your presentation, fetal programming and the impact of stress. Understanding that for our clients, you and I have had personal experiences, but I'm driven like you to support families in their journeys and help them reach reach all capabilities for themselves and have choices in what they do, and lay that foundation, help them lay that foundation that will have those lasting effects, as we know. And even when there is stress, I know you've talked about this before, that that there are things that we can put in place in order to support whatever has happened previously is happening now. So there's always hope in these times, particularly with so many things happening in the world today. So that's the good news, is that we can support them in that manner as well. Thank you so much for sitting down and joining me here today. It's always such a wonderful time to chat with you, Ruth.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. And I'm looking forward to many more people joining us on the 4th of October.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, thank you again. And if you're listening in right now, tuning into us, don't forget to head to the website. You can see all the details on this event. The Gold Learning Early Years Online Symposium 2021 begins on the 4th of October. You can check out the details and what time it's going to be for where you are in your specific country. It will be on our website, so you can join us there. And of course, the events will be live, so you'll have an opportunity to actually come and chat with Ruth on the day and all of our other presenters, but you can also listen to the recordings as well. Thank you once again for joining me here today, Dr. Ruth Oshikanlu. It's just been wonderful having you. And to all of our viewers, thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.